In times of storms, people pray for them to cease. But in 1743, a pastor prayed for a storm to grow stronger. His prayer was answered by God. In 1743, a French fleet of hundreds of ships carrying thousands of soldiers set sail to capture Boston and establish a French stronghold. Alongside them were 40 warships. When the people of New England heard this news, they were terrified. America had not yet gained independence and was still under British rule. They lacked the weapons needed for war. Some had only hunting rifles meant for shooting birds and animals. With these, they set out to defend their city. The rest, in fear, gathered to pray at the Old South Church. Thomas Prince was the pastor of this church. The sky was clear and the wind was calm. As the congregation began to pray, a storm arose, battering the church windows. Pastor Thomas Prince heard the church bell ring twice on its own. The previously calm wind started to howl fiercely. Pastor Prince opened his eyes and glanced at the congregation, some of whom were closing the windows. He then resumed praying, asking God to intensify the storm and sink the enemy fleet approaching Boston. To everyone's astonishment, the storm grew more violent. The tempest raged from the church to Boston Harbor, creating havoc in the Atlantic Ocean. The French fleet was overturned, their ammunition-laden ships sank, and the invaders drowned. Not a single shot was fired, and no ground was taken by the enemy. The helpless church members prayed and the storm arrived. God protected them in this miraculous way. Inspired by this event, Henry Wadsworth Longfellow penned a poem. There were rumors in the street. In the houses there was fear of the coming of the fleet and the danger hovering near. And while from mouth to mouth spread the tidings of dismay, I stood in Old South Church saying humbly, "Let us pray." This story reminds us of the power of prayer and faith, even in the face of overwhelming odds.